took it away. They took away my mustache. Did you keep your end of the bargain? Did you keep your secret from the last video? Or did you tell them, the powers that be, that I burped in the last video? Okay. I trust you. And I trust that you are telling the truth, and that you are being honest with me. Very good. Anyways, welcome back to Digital Remedy ASMR. And all I can see now, whenever I look into my viewfinder on my camera, is my bare, naked, smooth face. I say as I remove my Apple Watch from my wrist, because where we're going, we won't need time anymore. We won't need to tell time anymore where we're going. And I place my Apple Watch on the closet floor for now. Because when you're inside of this closet, you don't need to know time. You don't need to know anything. All that you need is me and this wonderful little experience that we have together here on the Digital Remedy ASMR channel. And if you like this video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. All of it helps me out a bunch. Maybe someday I'll get to see the sun again. Till then, we've got this artificial one to provide us light. Now, of course, no burping. But it wouldn't be a Digital Remedy ASMR video if we didn't crack into some freshly brewed seltzer water from the soda stream. Yes, yes, yes. No more, no less. Freshly brewed. You can even see the bottle glimmering with condensation on the side of it as I stroke my finger down the bottle. A little bit of precipitation upon my fingertip. A little bit of precipitation upon my fingertip. I apologize if we are rudely interrupted during today's Digital Remedy ASMR video, because this closet door, for whatever reason, is awfully rattly today. Maybe this is a new ASMR trigger. It usually isn't that bad. But today, the winds are different. There's change in the air. In fact, I smell something burning. And that is a desire deep within inside of you to hear more stories of past jobs that I've worked, lives that I've lived. But of course, it wouldn't be Digital Remedy ASMR without a fresh, crisp crack open of the bottle. Oh, we can do better than that. Oh, we are always going to do better than that. Create a little tornado, if you will. crisp, crack open. Oh, yeah. That's some good stuff. A smooth, crisp crack open of the bottle, just like my smooth and crisp face, even though losing the mustache was a punishment. If I are to burp in this digital remedy ASMR video, you promise not to tell, right? I know it says in the title NOT Burping, but you promise not to tell if we have a little oopsie-daisy, a little mistake, a little slip-up, if you will. You promise not to tell a soul, right? That was a close call. My throat burns with this acidic taste from the crisp seltzer water. Oh, intense, especially when a freshly brewed bottle is in my possession. You know what happens when somebody drinks a lot of water? They must urinate. And everybody has to urinate. Everybody with a body must urinate at some point in their life. They can hold it as long as they want, but it will come out. Today's story, if you are so intrigued, stifled, involves urination. Look at us. Dirty diapers in the last video and drain flies. Today's video all about urination. Can you believe this? What a classy channel we run here at Digital Remedy ASMR. My email just notified me that the package is shipped. I haven't ordered anything. What address am I going to give them? The closet? They won't know where I am. They don't know where I am. I can't even tell time anymore. I took off my Apple Watch. Anyways, back to my story. This is a story of when I worked at the Carousel. That's right, the Carousel. We have yet another Carousel story. This story takes place just before the holiday season, right around the time of Black Friday. You see, while I was working at the Carousel, one of the adjacent businesses was a Chinese food restaurant situated right there in our food court. And right next to, well, in between the two of us, was a security exit. Now, just for context, just so you know, this mall was not known to have an abundance of bathrooms. In fact, I would argue that there was really just about one public restroom in this entire mall, the rest of which were all situated inside of the major retail locations, such as Macy's and JCPenney, and a third one that I don't remember the name of. But other than that, there was only one bathroom. A men's room and a women's room. And that's it. Where was I? I forgot. Lost my train of thought. Time for water. When times got tough at this mall, and people were swamped, rather busy, handling customers, especially on the weekends, it became a bit of a challenge to find time to use the bathroom. So, you had to time it out properly. You had to find that little narrow window of time in which you could book it to the bathroom. Stifled. And make it back in time. And not lose out on any business. However, no. However, the people working at this Chinese food restaurant decided that they were going to take matters into their own hands. Or should I say, cups, if you will. You see, one night, after a particularly long shift, I was taking out the garbage through the security exit. Imagine me hauling a big old bag of trash like St. Nicholas going down a chimney, except a much smellier and less jolly, because I hated working there. And to my surprise, as I rounded the corner of the cement, I think that's what it was, concrete, cement, concrete, that's cement, baby. As I rounded the corner and the staircase was in front of me, cups, filled to the brim with a dark amber liquid. And at first I thought, stifled. At first I thought, well, that's odd. Who would change their oil here? That's crazy. What is this suspicious liquid? And then it occurred to me. The employees at this restaurant were urinating into cups and leaving them as little surprises in the security exit on the staircase for me to see at the end of my shift. A little farewell, this came out of my bladder, sitting there waving to me from the staircase, adding to the aroma of the trash that was emanating throughout the security exit. It was fresh, unhealthy, quite frankly, piss in these cups. Now, I'm no doctor, but based off of the color of that urine and what I saw in there, in those cups, probably about 4 or 5 of them, filled to the brim again with a dark amber urine, I would be rather concerned for their health. This was some very heavy-duty, dark piss. Darker than I've ever seen in my entire life. It went beyond being a tint of yellow. In fact, if you look at this color of this sweater right here, darker than the color of this sweater. Almost like that that one intro that plays over all of those various different movies. It's like the sepia tone, and it's shimmering. It looks like that neighborhood that the camera is panning across is essentially submerged in urine. That was the color of this piss. And those piss cups, legend has it, are still there to this day. Maybe there's more. But I know, and I know, that those piss cups are still there. Stifled, sort of. Are still there in spirit. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must go produce some clear urine into a toilet bowl. Not a cup, not a bottle, not even a can, a toilet bowl. This has been another lesson from Digital Remedy ASMR. And thank you very much for watching and supporting the channel. I must go. Bon voyage.